In this episode, in session 7, we'll see how different scales of measurement measures a different kind of data, and what are the use of those data in future in terms of statistical analysis. So basically, we already understood there are different scales like nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scales. So nominal, it's all about the different category names. So it determine the quality classification on the basis of female, male, purchaser, non-purchaser. So on the basis of gender, category, you can name them. That is, and the descriptive for the descriptive purpose, this can be used for the pie chart, percentage, or the mode. So this can be for the inferential chi-square and binomial test can be used to test this kind of data output. So the ordinal scale determination of greater or less, the ranking, preference data, market position, attitude, measurement, many psychological measure, and it also helps in measuring the median because it is all positional. So the basically the tests such as Mann Whitney, ANOVA rank and orders, then non-parametric test, it is being used for this ordinal for the ranking kind of the data. And for the interval scale, the determination of equality of interval. So the index number attitude measurement like the Likert scale or you measure in term of 1 to 7 Likert scale. It may be balanced, it may be in the form of imbalance, unbalance. So, but it gives you almost all the statistical descriptive analysis like mean, range, standard deviations, and this can be used as good as the ratio scale in terms of correlation, factor, cluster. Uh, but interval scale, when it is balanced, it's act like a ratio scale. If it is not balanced, then there is a problem. And using them as a continuous scale is will be wrong. In the ratio scale determination of equality, the scale of ratio the produce like a sales unit produced by number of customer, weight, height, and all. So for sales quantity, everything like mean, range, standard deviation, and all cluster factor or correlation, all analysis can be done on the basis of the ratio scale. It is used to be more continuous and it's measure most of the physical parameter in number of quantity, kilo, and the weight. Now we look into the this research questionnaire preparation method. Like a social questionnaire, how would you make a subjective parameter to measure through the objective? So subjectivity in the variable like satisfaction, attitude, so the aggressions, all the subjective parameter, how they can be measured objectively. That is the different scales and the different uh, framing of types of questionnaire that can help us out to measure them objectively. So let us go one by one the different way we can frame the questionnaire so that questionnaire framing will be accurate to get our desired result. So the first type here, the point scale, which is here the 10-point scale is being used. So here the question is what is the probability of control of the COVID-19 in India in next 1.5 months? So whether you are 100% certain, then you get 10, it is 90 to 100. So 99 out of 100 then. So then almost sure 9 out of 10 or 8 very probably 8 out of 10 it should be. The first it should be 9 out of 10 instead of 9 out of 100. So this is the way this measurement is given, that how certain or how sure you are about the outcomes. Accordingly, this 10-point scale being used for the first kind of questionnaire. So like this, you can frame a question where you can give this 10 rating. Then type 2, it is a graphic non-comparative rating scale. You are not comparing any variable with the other or any item or the product with the other product. You are just want to catch the taste and preference for a particular item or a particular product or commodity. So it's a kind of continuous rating scale. So excellent to very poor, that rating you have to give like it starts from the probably the best, then in between the very good, then in between the all right, not at all good, and probably the worst. So like this, the range is there, but it is continuous. But it is hardly used in marketing research for getting any response. So then itemized rating scales, so the rating are given from 1 to 7. Then 7 is the most delighted, like then it is rated most, then it's slowly steadily decrease with the degree of your happiness or pleasantness with the product, or the how pleased or how happy. So then worst is the terrible or unhappy is the part of the worst part. So otherwise you can also show the same scale. Overall how satisfied you are, it is measured from the scale of 100% to 10%. So it is the range from completely satisfied to not at all satisfied. So this gives a good accuracy or the good understanding up to what percentage the person is satisfied with your service or the products. Similarly, the same thing, you can have this item scale, keeping the in between the scales blank. To what extent this meet your expectation or fulfill your needs and aspirations, that you can put extremely well to extremely poor in between 1 to 7 rating scale. Then type 4, it can be balance versus unbalanced alternative. Balance is not always useful when to measure specific attributes. So balance means it is equally bad and good from the point of neutral. So it should be equally balanced both the sides, and only it is a balance scale. And sometimes on balance scale means uh, the scale, it's may start from the good, then better, then the best. So though it starts from the good itself and it is going to the best, so that is not the negative part to balance it out. So it is more inclined and more biased towards the positive part. So the scale is become, it's a on balance kind. So unbalanced scale is sometime is good, but balanced scale is most preferable. But sometimes the unbalanced scale is also good. Like suppose if there is a balance scale of like worst, then worst, then good, then neutral. No, it's not just on balance or balance. If it is instead of 5 rating, instead of neutral point, if I'll take away the neutral point, if I'll give a 4 uh, point scale like best, good, then bad and worst. In if I'll not put neutral point, sometime what happen? Most of the respondent responds to the neutral point, and they don't want to take either of the side, whether the positive or negative side. They want to remain neutral. So to get rid of this kind of biasness, we can use 4-point scales where the neutral point uh, can be taken away to uh, force the respondent to take a stance whether it is positive or negative. So similarly, the forced and non-forced scale. Forced scale will, like in the non-forced scale, if I'll ask, compare, just go through its force and non-force on the basis of no opinion, no knowledge, nature of the information, and the nature of the observation of the respondent. It's a comparative rating scale. So there is a reference point and comparison point should be there. So the non-force, just see, compared to the soft drink, I generally drink classic Coke is, so this is a comparative, like what I am consuming, and in comparison to that, classic Coke is how good or how bad. So I'm forcing him to compare in comparison to a particular item so that he can be more specific. How do you like the taste of new Coke compared to the classic Coke? So this can help us out in comparing the new Coke in comparison to the classic, the old Coke. So the respondent will force to make a comparison before giving the answer. So here the respondent is given an option: like it much, like it more, like it about the same, like it less, like it much less, do not know. So on the basis of that, we can understand how far the new Coke is acceptable to the consumer and favorable, the new development is favorable to the consumer taste and preference. Just see the balance force choice and imbalance force choice. So looking into the interval and all, if it is a balance, extremely good, somewhat bad, very bad, and extremely bad. So here we can see it is a kind of balance. So the good part, extremely good and very good, are equally presented. The bad part. So here again it is a balance because somewhat good, somewhat bad, both are equally, the positive negative side are equally balanced here. So it's a balance scale. But see the seventh one, it is a example of an imbalance scale. So what is your reaction to this advertisement? Enthusiastic, very favorable, favorable, neutral, and unfavorable. You just see the negative part is just one part, the unfavorable. The four different options are more tilted towards the favorable and the positive part of the. So this is the way the whether you want to create a balance and on balance. So it is a on balance force to scale to measure the attitude. Again, here you'll find through the pair of comparison, either you have to select one or you have to reject one. You are forced to. You cannot say both are good. A is better than B. A is tastier than B. A is more important than B. So whether you agree on the basis of different parameters that you have to give, and you are forced to choose one of them. A is preferred to be 90% or 60% or 40% or 50% that you have to give. So the number of pair increase one value in the comparison to other on the basis of the overall preferences. How can how one can ask for the discrimination or preferences? Either of these. So this is the way one can understand how the person is preferring a brand in comparison to the other, and how good the customer is preferring a brand in comparison to the other. So that can be understood through this. So like this, if there are only two, so it's all depend on the how many pair it will prepare, n into n minus 2 by 2 here. So this many number of pairs will come out for your, it should be n into n minus 1 by 2. So this many number of players if we'll select instead of just two A and B, they will select more number of brands of product for the comparison. So this much response the respondent has to respond. So double paired comparison test here. The researcher want to understand the comparison between the two brands, but to understand the comparison between two brand, he intentionally putting another four brand in between. Suppose the respondent are asked to identical sample of A and two identical sample of product B. The consistent preferences discrimination test comparison more than once one test the preferences of the 7 of then the 7 of versus Sprite 7 of versus Limca to test the percent power of discrimination. So triangle discrimination or the preference test here two sample of one product and one of another. So this way we want to test 7 of versus Sprite, but we want to do this test through a triangular manner. So A to B, B to C, C to A. So through this we are trying to get better result, and this used to be adopted by the uh, for adopted by the market researcher for any food, for any technology, technical products, so the mobile handset and all consumer durable products. So and accordingly they try to understand the taste and preferences of the buyers. So this is regarding the rank and order rating scale. How did I? How effective is the Coke commercial? Did not see the Coke commercial in comparison. So we need to uh, check how far he has seen the Coke commercial and how many times he has seen the Pepsi commercial, how many times other three brands of beverages, the cola brand the person has seen or listened in the advertisement. So whether he is exposed to the new Coke advertisement that we want to check in comparison to the competitors brand. Then once if he has seen the advertisement, how effective that again we are trying to measure in comparison to the other brand. So this is the way the comparative test and analysis can be carried out for the. So this way all of us understand first is the 10-point scale, then continuous scale, then we are finding out the comparative scales, different point rating scales, percentage scales. Then we are going through the different force and balance and unbalanced scale. So this is a way different scales can be prepared, and it will be so interesting for the respondent to respond to see the different questionnaire design or different types and kind of questionnaire design. He will be excited and he will be motivated to fill this questionnaire if he will be framing the questionnaire in an interesting pattern or the manner. So let us see the so if you want to say like car and automobile, then just you want to understand the customer preferences for the different factors and items that influencing his buying. Divide the 100 points among the characteristics listed so that the decision will reflect the importance of each characteristic to you in selecting an automobile. Whether the person is giving more importance to dependability, safety, comfort, or style or economy, or the price, that will be seeing how much weightage he is giving to this parameter. Accordingly, the company can also take a decision on what parameter or characteristic it should focus in launching the new product or in redesigning this existing automobile. Then we'll see how the Likert scale, the semantic differential scale, and staple scale is being prepared to take the respondent response. So this is a very interesting format of understanding the product quality or the product performance. or to measure any service quality also. So here the first and the opposite parameters as being mentioned, we want to measure the quality or the strength of the Creta of Hyundai. So Creta, the newly launched SUV by Hyundai in Indian market, and we want to understand how good in its performance, how large and how expensive in expensive, so how stylish, so how spacious that. So this is the way we can see that there are 7 rating scales, and the customer being respondent being asked to give the rating in terms of style, the speed, and the economic value of the vehicle. So let us see the same semantic scale for a group of brand, how they can be measured uh, in the from the respondent. And it's so interesting that it's not just for the one brand. For a several brands, we can measure by use of this semantic scale, and this will be very useful for a comparative study of the different brand in terms of different uh, attributes. We can see here the researcher want to get the feeling of the comparison of different brands. We can see the Ford Fortuner. F stand for the Ford Fortuner. Creta, C stand for the Creta, L stand for the Land Rover, and Porsche, P stand for the Porsche. So like this, the first same four attributes, and we are trying to compare the different brands and their position in the market, and how customer are perceiving them in terms of their qualities and parameter. So if we'll go to the question number 12, like 11, it is also the same, and we can also give the rating for the these 4 different parameters. We can give the rating Creta if it is see Creta here 3, then Creta to be given 3. Land Rover is given 2 in terms of cost, so here it will be given 2. Porsche is again 2, so it is more towards the fast end. So Creta and Fortuner is more towards the slow. So this is the way we can give this all ratings numbers here. So instead of filling the blank space here. So this is a good way of also again getting the quantitative measure of the perception of the brand in terms of certain attributes and in comparison to the competitors. It's a very interesting way of collecting the data, and definitely respondent also feel interesting and quite entertaining in feeling of this uh, questions. So another way of measuring the different brands in terms of the different attributes. So this is the case, the modern, Switch, and Lively. On the basis of that, they want to measure the different brand, and they want to give the rating to the different brands. So this is the way the one can judge and can give the rate in from 1 to 7 scale. So for the different brands and all. So let us see the another example how the different banks and their qualities can we can see for the banks or any service industry or any financial institution in terms of 2 different extreme how the thing can be measured. So like dishonest to honest, less quality to high quality. So this way the best and the worst parameter, and some of the scales are in the reverse order. So reverse order always used to be uh, mentioned by the best researcher to find out how consciously the correspondent is responding, whether he is reading the questionnaire properly or not. So on the basis of that, so positive and negative, or that can be some of the reverse questionnaire can be put forward. Here the high price is not the reverse questionnaire, but we can put some of the questionnaire in the reverse order. So instead of putting old fashioned to the modern, we can put modern then old fashioned. That also give you a good glimpse whether the person is consciously, then he'll be putting the rating here instead of putting 7 for the modern. We'll put like a rating scale modern to old fashioned, then you will give here more rating to the modern as 1. Here he will be rating, and the old fashioned will be rated as 7. So it will be a reverse questions to check the person's attention and the person's seriousness in giving the response. Let us see the so Staple scale is interesting way of measuring, where we can see it is almost balanced scale, and the three attribute large, friendly, and low price. So the we want to take the rating for the retail outlets. Retail outlet, a big retail outlet in Pune, and to get the response, so I can get the response in terms of the large, friendly, and low price. So this is also again balance scale, but it is individual for the different attributes. So let us see the final. So here the measure of degree of agreement and disagreement. So that is getting measured through the Likert scale. The pantaloon store is attractive, strongly agree or strongly disagree. So it's a kind of balance and all. So balance, so in between is the neutral, neither agree or disagree. So we can see price is good, store service is satisfactory. So this way we want to measure the performance of the pantaloon on the basis of different attributes. So similarly, can you see here that on the experience of driving the Ford EcoSport, not at all good or very good. So the attribute excited, playful, and fearful and desirous. So this is the different way we can measure the quantitative data. Actually, the subjective parameter is measured through the different scale and ratings. This convert a subjective parameter into a objective or quantitative, which can be taken forward for any kind of statistical analysis. So this is also known as operationalization of the different attributes. On what basis one can measure or one can give grading or ranking for the different attribute performance, their characteristic. So this is being used, this is also known as the operationalization of the variable. So operationalization of the conceptual variable helps on in measuring or in uh, doing the future mathematical analysis. In the above, we understood the quantitative research method and the quantitative way of collecting the data. So that is the operationalization or quantification of the response, but in several cases the quantification doesn't help, because that also restricts, that doesn't allow the complete exploration of the underlying variables and their importance. So that's the reason sometimes in-depth interview, open-ended questions, focus group interview, and qualitative response is essential to explore and to understand all the pattern and behavior that give a good kind of exploratory research base. Completely unstructured questions can be there, a question where a respondent can answer in an unlimited number of ways. What is your opinion about the financial impact of the present coronavirus lockdown in India? So here anyone can write anything in some of the fiscal deficit, trade deficit, so many all the efficiency, inefficiency, so many ways this question can be answered, and it is open-ended. It may vary from person to person. It may happen something common, or some a common theme can be maybe repeated again and again. But in many cases, in some cases you may find some exceptional answers that also to be, and you can go for the text mining or text analysis or content analysis to understand and to see the content. Second, the word associations. So words are presented one at a time and respondent mention the first word that comes to mind. So this is also being used widely for the brand and brand recall. So what is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the following words? Like toothpaste, what comes to your mind first? Whether it is Colgate or Pepsodent or Patanjali or Dabur Dantmanjan, what is coming to your mind first? Gives the that gives the understanding that which is most dominating brand inside the mind of the customer. So in terms of laptop, is it Dell, HP or Sony, Toshiba, that one can also, because top of the mind in the top of the mind the customer recall that brand that also influence in buying of any goods and services. Indian, which is famous, Indian temples, Indian garments, Indian cuisine, the food in or Indian culture, so that we need to. Similar the travel bag, whether it is Samsonite is coming first, VIP, or Sri Leather, or our Safari. So many different. But what is coming first, that is important to understand the how your brand is being positioned inside the mind customer. So next is type 3 is all about the sentence completion or the, so this is the kind of a incomplete story is presented and respondent are asked to complete it. So like in the developed country like US and of Western Europe like Spain, Italy and France, what we found, the stories of death are pathetic during COVID-19 and many old people are dying at their home and not being attended by their young children, and it is not also known to the government. So this is a pathetic and this is also a very wrong attitude of the children for their parent, and they are left miserable and they are left to die. But look into this development and developed countries, this culture, recent tradition. So this is not acceptable in India because people here are closely attached to their parents and stay with the parents. A few cases exceptional may be there, but you'll find this. And seeing this news analysis and news uh, broadcasting again and again, something is coming to the mind of the reader. What he is thinking to this, responding to such news and cases that will that is in terms of the incomplete story, where the respondent need to fill the story. So the respondent may feel the story in terms of the people out of education has become more insensitive, or they are getting more materialistic, or they are very selfish, they are very self-centric, whatever, or they are suffering from their own anxiety and problem, they cannot pay attention, they do have their own problem in earning and sustaining themselves. So this way you have to identify. What- So a picture of two characters is presented. So some of the response you can take in the form of uh, showing the pictures. So once you show these two characters and we want to understand how this female supporting staff is behaving with this male complainant. So you can give your description or analysis. You can ask the respondent. So this is the interesting way to get So indirect response from the, because there are certain area where you cannot directly ask that interfere with the privacy and the confidentiality. So there are a different interesting mode of collecting data through the pictures and diagrams. The last but not the least, the thematic appreciation test. A picture is presented to the respondent and is being asked to develop a story around the picture. So this is a way one can go through the picture and can emotionally and also perceptually he can think and analyze and can give a new insight, or you can build a story. So like this, in the same thing in the below, two character is there. So to understand how the respondent is feeling, so he is trying